Hey guys, out here doing another reinstall for one of our great repeat customers. We've been doing this home, I believe this is the 4th year now. So we're just doing Warmite lights along the whole roof line. And then we're gonna wrap these 3 columns with Warmite mini lights. So nice classic look. And it's gonna, hopefully I'll be able to knock this out within about 2 hours or so, since it's a reinstall. First year, it probably took me 5-6 hours. We include a timer with each one of our installs. We use photocell timers. These are ones we've been getting from Home Depot for the last 3 or 4 years, and they work really well. We do have them fail occasionally, but I think that's pretty common with all timers. The thing I like about these is that they're very simple and hard to mess up. They basically have a photocell that comes on at dusk, and then you can set it to stay on for 2 hours after it gets dark, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, or all the way until dawn. So it's not like the old mechanical timers where you have to set the exact time, you have to pull the pins. It's not a digital timer that's going to run out of batteries and mess up, or if they have a power outage, it's not going to reset the time on it. So these work really well. This one had actually gone out. This is the one I had on here, and it had been on here for the last 3 years, but when I plugged it in, I could see it wasn't working. So we just swapped it out with another one, and that one's working fine. Okay, so I'll show you guys how we ran power. You want to do it very neatly. So you can see I dropped down from my timer. I ran my wire and tucked it up in this J channel in the siding all the way around. And then I created an inline female to feed a line that feeds all 3 of my columns. And you can see that I just tucked that line up above the each column in the J channel. So I've got power going there, and then my power continues up onto the roof, and that's where I'm going to tie into my roof lights. Okay, I've got everything laid out where it's going to go, and now I'm about to start clipping everything in. This is one of my earlier installs, so we were using different kinds of clips on here. We were using these, what's called a shingle tab for the shingles, and we were using a gutter tab for a gutter clip for the gutters. Reason we did that is because once everything's installed, kind of show you here real quickly. Looks like they've gotten a new roof put in since last time I was here. Once we've gotten everything installed, all the bulbs are going to stick out straight on the gutter and on the shingles, but it obviously slows things down a lot more because you can't pre-bulb and pre-clip everything before you start installing your lights. So that's why we switched to the same clip, the best clip or whatever style gutter clip that you use. Other thing about these shingle tabs is they're good clips, but they tend to kind of get warped over time, and it makes it where the bulb doesn't point the same direction as all the other bulbs. So I'm going to have to swap out several of these that have gotten kind of warped and bent up over the last, while they were in storage or while they were out in the sun last year. So I end up replacing probably 10% of these every year. So I'll go ahead and get everything attached and show you what it looks like. Here's an example of one I just swapped out. You can see, like I said, these while they're stored in a crate, they either end up getting bent or just, being up on the roof, and it causes them not to point in the same direction, and you want all your bulbs to be pointing in the same way. I might have to replace this one as well. So you can see this one's bent up as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace it too. So this being one of our first installs we did the first couple of years, we used to use 12-inch spacing on our sockets. You can get this line in different spacings for lights. You can get it as small as 6 inches all the way up to 24, 36 inches. But a lot of professional installers, they use either 12 or 15 on the roof lines of houses. We switched to 15 2 or 3 years ago, and honestly, you can't tell any difference, and I actually think the 15-inch spacing looks better than the 12. And what that allows you to do is you actually, with 15-inch spacing socket, you're actually saving about 20% in materials, because you're using 20% fewer bulbs and clips and things like that. So, the difference would be, the bulb would just be here as opposed to here. So the difference is negligible, but it does make a difference where you can price stuff more competitively and be more profitable. So all we use now is 15-inch spacing, and like I said, you can't really tell a difference, and if you can, I actually like the look of the 15-inch spacing better. Here's a good example of what it looks like when you don't have shingle tabs that are still straight. So you can see all these bulbs are pointing in the same direction, and then you've got this one bulb that's sticking up and the rest of them are sticking out, and it's just because that bulb has gotten, or that clip has gotten bent. So I'm just going to go ahead and swap that out real quick. Okay, we're all done up here. Got the whole roof line done. Now we're going to jump down and do our 3 columns, and we should be good to go. Occasionally when you're wrapping columns like this, you'll have a gutter that is attached to the column. In cases like that, you just want to have a little screwdriver and a nut driver with you to be able to pop the screws out on that strap. Like I did here, make sure to put the screws somewhere you're not going to lose them, and then all you have to do is kind of pull the gutter away from the column so that you can wrap. At the bottom it'll be easier, but as I get up to the top, I'll have to unravel the ball completely to feed it around, just because it's going to be too tight in this space right here. You could go ahead and pop this one off and take the gutter out, but I think this is faster just to take the bottom out and do it. Okay, so I got my column wrapped here, and you see I just fastened my gutter back, put my 2 screws in, and it's all ready. Okay, we just finished up, put everything up. Took me about 1 hour and 45 minutes, I think, to reinstall it by myself, which isn't too bad at all. I much prefer these simpler houses that are a much lower ticket item than the big installs we do that are, take a whole day and take a lift. I would rather do, 5 or 6 of these in a day than, or even 2 or 3 of them than one big install. It's just much simpler, a lot less headaches. The roofs are safer. And like I said, it's just a much easier process with a lot less moving parts. But last thing I'm going to do is turn my lights off, set my timer to stay on for 6 hours after dusk, and we are done.